How did Kenya become so rich? Kenya, a land of diverse landscapes, breathtaking wildlife, and vibrant cultures, has been making significant strides toward economic development in recent years. With its thriving agricultural sector, a world-renowned tourism industry, and a growing focus on innovation and technology, Kenya has emerged as one of the fastest-growing economies in Africa. So, how did Kenya become so wealthy? The Kenyan economy is the largest in East Africa. After independence in 1963, Kenya promoted rapid economic growth through public investment, encouraged smallholder agricultural production, and provided incentives for private, often foreign, industrial investment. Since 2005, Kenya has experienced a tremendous economic transformation with growth ranging at an annual average of 5%. As a result, Kenya's GDP grew from $18 billion in 2005 to $117 billion in 2023. In 2014, the World Bank ranked Kenya as a lower middle-income country because its per capita GDP crossed the threshold of $1,036 and currently stands at $2,081. Although Kenya's economy is diversified, the agricultural sector is the backbone of the economy, contributing approximately 33% of Kenya's gross domestic product (GDP). The agriculture sector employs more than 40% of the total population and 70% of the rural population. Despite facing numerous challenges, including political instability and poverty, Kenya has emerged as one of the most promising economies on the continent. In fact, according to the World Bank, Kenya's economy is projected to grow by 6% in 2023, making it one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. So how was Kenya before getting rich? What factors propelled Kenya to become rich? Which sectors drive the Kenya economy? What are the challenges that Kenya is currently facing? How can Kenya continue experiencing tremendous growth? What is the future outlook of Kenya's economy? Before we continue, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and talk to me via the comment section. Kenya before becoming rich. Kenya's history dates back thousands of years, with evidence of human habitation in the region dating back to the Paleolithic era. Over the centuries, various kingdoms and empires rose and fell in the region, with Arab traders and European colonizers impacting the country's history. In the late 19th century, Kenya became a British colony, remaining under British control until gaining independence in 1963. During this time, the country's economy was predominantly agricultural, with crops such as coffee, tea, and sugarcane being significant exports. Following independence, Kenya faced numerous challenges, including political instability and economic inequality. The country struggled with high poverty levels, a lack of infrastructure, and a growing population. Despite these challenges, Kenya made significant progress in the latter half of the 20th century. The country invested in education and healthcare, and the economy diversified beyond agriculture into industries such as manufacturing and services. However, it wasn't until the 21st century that Kenya's economy began to take off. The country's growing focus on innovation and technology, coupled with investments in infrastructure and business-friendly policies, has helped to make Kenya one of the fastest-growing economies in Africa. Factors that propelled Kenya to become rich. Several factors and policies have contributed to Kenya's economic growth and progress in recent years. Some of the main drivers of Kenya's economic development include: 1. Investment in infrastructure. Kenya has made significant investments in infrastructure, including building new roads such as the Thika Superhighway, railways, airports, and expansion of ports. This has helped to improve the country's transportation networks and make them more attractive to foreign investors. 2. Business-friendly policies. The Kenyan government has recently implemented policies promoting entrepreneurship and business development. For instance, it has passed the Companies Act, the Insolvency Act, and the Special Economic Zones Act, the Business Registration Service, the Companies and Insolvency Legislation, Consequential Amendments, Act 2015, and Finance Act Amendments 2015. This has helped to create a more business-friendly environment and attract foreign investment to the country. 3. Diversification of the economy. Kenya has diversified its economy beyond agriculture into manufacturing, tourism, and services. This has helped to create new job opportunities and make the country's economy more resilient. 4. Innovation and technology. Kenya has become a hub for innovation and technology, with many startups and tech companies emerging recently. This has helped to diversify the country's economy and create new job opportunities. 5. Public-private partnerships. The Kenyan government has partnered with private companies to finance and develop major infrastructure projects, such as the Lamu Port, South Sudan-Ethiopia Transport Corridor, several special economic zones, and other projects. This has helped to attract foreign investment and create jobs in the country. Sectors that drive the Kenya economy. Several sectors have contributed to Kenya's economic growth and progress in recent years. Some of the main drivers of Kenya's economic development include: 1. Agricultural production. Kenya's solid agricultural sector contributes significantly to the country's economy. The country's major agricultural exports are tea, coffee, cut flowers, and vegetables. Agriculture accounts for around 30% of Kenya's GDP and employs a large portion of the country's workforce. 2. Tourism. Kenya has some of the world's most famous wildlife reserves, including the Masai Mara, Amboseli National Park, and Tsavo National Park. Kenya's tourism product includes culture, cuisine, entertainment, sports, nature, beach and safari, meetings, incentives, exhibitions, and conferences. These attractions draw millions of tourists each year, significantly boosting the country's economy. 3. Infrastructure development. Kenya has made significant investments in infrastructure, including new roads, railways such as the Mombasa-Nairobi SGR, airports, and ports such as the Lamu Port. This has helped to improve the country's transportation networks and make them more attractive to foreign investors. 4. Innovation and technology. Kenya has become a hub for innovation and technology, with many startups and tech companies emerging recently. For instance, at least 308 tech startups were operating across Kenya as of November 2022, employing more than 11,000 people. Fintech is the most populated subsector of the Kenyan startup space, with 93 firms registered. This has helped to diversify the country's economy and create new job opportunities. What are the challenges that Kenya is currently facing? Kenya faces several challenges that could impact its economic growth and development. Some of the main challenges include the following. 1. High levels of poverty and inequality. Despite progress in recent years, the poverty and inequality remain significant challenges in Kenya. For instance, the extreme poverty was 25.9% in 2022. Addressing these issues will require targeted investments in areas such as education, such as in primary, secondary, and tertiary education, for example, the technical and vocational colleges, investment in healthcare sectors such as maternity, early healthcare, and specialized treatment, and social safety nets for communities prone to drought due to climate change. 2. Political instability. Kenya has experienced political instability in recent years, including violent elections and tensions between ethnic and political groups. This results from political interference, lack of proper security oversight, high levels of corruption, and technical and organizational deficiencies within the police. Addressing these issues will require efforts to promote inclusive and democratic governance and reforms to the political system. 3. Climate change. Kenya is vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, including droughts, floods, and rising temperatures. Kenya's economy mainly depends on tourism and rain-fed agriculture, which is susceptible to climate change and extreme weather events. Increasing heat and recurrent droughts contribute to severe crop and livestock losses, leading to famine, displacement, and other threats to human health and well-being. Addressing these issues will require investments in climate resilience and mitigation, as well as efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by investing in renewable energy, switching to sustainable transport such as electric vehicles, and improving farming methods by practicing mechanized farming. 4. Corruption. Corruption remains a significant challenge in Kenya, with the country ranking poorly on international corruption measures. For instance, in the Corruption Perceptions Index 2021, Kenya is ranked 128th out of 180 countries for corruption, tied with 7 other countries, including Bolivia, Azerbaijan, Laos, and Paraguay. Addressing this issue will require strong political will and efforts to improve transparency, accountability, and governance. How can Kenya continue experiencing tremendous growth? To address these challenges and continue a solid growth trajectory, Kenya will need to focus on several key areas, including 1. Promoting inclusive growth. Kenya must ensure that economic growth is inclusive and benefits all segments of society, particularly those most vulnerable to poverty and inequality. For instance, structural reforms could include continued efforts to ease barriers to SMEs growth, improve the quality of education and skills development at all levels, empower women, support R&D, technology adoption, and digitalization, and prioritize and adequately financing partnerships with the private sector to enable investment in increased internet access, technology skills development, and regional integration. 2. Investing in infrastructure. Infrastructure investment contributes to economic growth by expanding the productive capacity of a locality, region, state, or nation. A new highway, for example, allows for increased transportation of people, goods, and services. Therefore, continued investment in infrastructure will be essential to support economic growth and improve the country's competitiveness. 3. Fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. Kenya has made significant progress in promoting innovation and entrepreneurship in recent years, but continued efforts will be needed to support the growth of startups and small businesses. Notably, the entrepreneurship sector stimulates innovation and provides employment and development of the economy. Therefore, Kenya should embolden the practice of entrepreneurship, reward innovative habits, minimize bureaucracy and red tape, model and promote creative behaviors, and create and nurture a collaborative work environment, especially in its various universities. 4. Improving governance. Addressing corruption and improving governance will promote economic growth and ensure public resources are used effectively and transparently. Good governance initiatives may include advocacy for legal reform, public awareness raising on the national and international legal framework, and capacity building or reform of institutions. Future outlook of Kenya's economy. The future outlook for Kenya's economy is generally positive, with the country expected to continue its growth trajectory in the coming years. Kenya's economy is projected to grow by 6% in 2023, making it one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The government has set ambitious economic growth targets, including achieving high-income status by 2030. However, challenges and risks could still impact the country's economic prospects. These include a slowdown in growth and rising levels of poverty and unemployment. Kenya's economic growth has been relatively strong in recent years compared to other sub-Saharan African countries. However, several other countries in the region have also been making significant economic progress, such as Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Ghana. Kenya will need to continue implementing policies to promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth to remain competitive in the region. Achieving high-income status is a challenging goal requiring sustained economic growth over a long period. While Kenya has made significant progress in recent years, significant challenges and inequalities still need to be addressed. Additionally, the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the need for more significant investments in healthcare and social safety nets. Achieving high-income status by 2030 will require sustained effort and investment in these areas. In conclusion, Kenya has undergone a significant economic transformation in recent years, emerging as one of the fastest-growing economies in Africa. The country has implemented various policies and reforms to promote economic growth, including investments in infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Additionally, Kenya has made significant progress in fostering innovation and entrepreneurship and has attracted substantial foreign investment. Despite the country's challenges, such as high levels of poverty and inequality, political instability, climate change, and corruption, Kenya has a positive outlook for the future. The government has set ambitious targets for economic growth, and the country has a thriving private sector and a dynamic and entrepreneurial population. As we have seen, Kenya's journey to becoming a prosperous country has been marked by significant progress and hard work. Looking to the future, it is clear that Kenya has the potential to continue its growth trajectory and become an even more prosperous and inclusive society. We hope you have enjoyed learning about Kenya's remarkable growth story. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit the notification button to stay up to date with our latest videos. Thank you for watching.